Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This morning, we're gathered because we have a very important public safety announcement to share with our community, and we want everyone to be aware and raise some more awareness about this, just so we could get some of the public's assistance. Joining me up here, we have just some great teammates of mine, very proud to serve with them every day. We have Major Saul Suarez that oversees our criminal investigations Bureau. We have Lieutenant Leon Hernandez that oversees our child abuse unit as well. He's right over here, as well as Sergeant Cook. We have Captain Wagner. I'm not sure where the captain. Oh, right here. I'm sorry, right here. Deputy Waits, right here. Thank you so much. And myself, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. Earlier this year, January this year, our child abuse unit received a sexual assault investigation involving a juvenile female of 15 years of age. During the investigation, we learned that the defendant, Christian Morales, 23 years old, he's pictured up here, falsely identified himself as a juvenile to the victim, in this case, through a social media platform. It was learned that under this false pretense, Morales picked up the victim from her school. Picked her up, it was after school, and arranged for the meetup to occur there, and drove her to a wooded area in northwest Harris County near the San Jacinto River, where he forcefully, and I want to emphasize forcefully because I think that's a common trait that he had, was forcefully sexually assaulted the victim and video recorded the incident without her knowledge. Following the assault, Morales then drove the victim back to where he originally picked her up. Our Harris County Sheriff's Office Child Abuse Unit, with the assistance of the Harris County Sheriff's Office High-Tech Crimes Unit and Montgomery County Precinct 4 Constable's Office, executed a search warrant at Morales' residence for possession of child pornography. Morales, who was interviewed, acknowledged his involvement in this matter and advised of additional potential victims. So we believe there's going to be several more out there that just haven't been identified as of yet. The suspect is currently in custody in the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office on a different charge stemming from another physical assault. And we are determined to bring these individuals to justice, and we want to speak with anyone who Morales may have also victimized beyond just this one known victim at this point. We ask you to please contact the Harris County Sheriff's Office Child Abuse Unit at 713-986-3394. If you have additional information, or contact Crime Stoppers and submit an anonymous tip by calling 713-222-TIPS, 713-222-8477. We want to remind parents to check their kids' social media and internet usage, monitor who they communicate with online. We have to work together to protect our most vulnerable and most valued asset, our youth, our young people. The Child Abuse Unit strives to protect all children and continue our relentless pursuit of justice for these crimes, along with all our valuable partners, such as the Children's Assessment Center as well. Briefly in Spanish. A principios de este año, enero de este año, la Unidad de Abuso Infantil de la Oficina de Harris County Sheriff's Office recibió una investigación de asalto sexual que involucraba a una menor de edad. Durante la investigación descubrimos que el acusado, Christian Morales, de 23 años, está aquí identificado, se identificó falsamente como un hombre menor de edad con la víctima, en este caso a través de una plataforma de redes sociales. Se supo que bajo este falso pretexto, Morales recogió a la víctima en su escuela, en la preparatoria, y condujo a una zona boscosa en el noroeste del condado cerca del río San Jacinto, donde asaltó sexualmente a la víctima por la fuerza y grabó en video el incidente sin su conocimiento. Después del asalto, Morales condujo a la víctima de regreso a donde la había recogido originalmente. La Unidad de Abuso Infantil de Harris County Sheriff's Office, con la asistencia de High-Tech Crimes Unit y Montgomery County Precinct 4 Constable's Office, ejecutó una orden de arresto en la residencia de Morales por posesión de pornografía infantil. Morales, quien fue entrevistado, reconoció su participación en este asunto e informó de otras posibles víctimas. Este sospechoso se encuentra actualmente bajo custodia. Estamos decididos a llevar a esos individuos ante la justicia y queremos hablar con cualquier persona que Morales pueda también haber victimizado. Por favor, póngase en contacto con la Unidad de Abuso Infantil de nuestra agencia al 713-986-3394. Si usted tiene información adicional, o póngase en contacto con Crime Stoppers y envía una denuncia anónima llamando al 713-222-8477. Queremos recordar a los padres que controlen el uso que hacen sus hijos de las redes sociales y del Internet. Vigilen con quién se comunican en línea. Tenemos que trabajar juntos para proteger a los más vulnerables, nuestra juventud. La Unidad de Abuso Infantil se esfuerza por proteger a todos los niños y continuar nuestra búsqueda incesante de justicia para estos crímenes. A couple things I want to just highlight before we do move on is I think it's critical, is that we do believe there's going to be several other victims out there. We do have information to substantiate that. What we need to know is who those victims are. And that's where we're making this public plea, because we want to make sure, number one, that we bring justice to those individuals, but others that we may not even know about yet. We believe that this has gone on for a while now. And so we want to make sure that we identify who those potential victims, those survivors are, so that they could get the full support that we could offer through vast resources, not only on our investigative side, but also, again, like I mentioned, Children's Assessment Center that can provide additional resources. That's so important, so that they can recover from this type of horrific situation. No one should go through this. No one, it's against the law, it's wrong, and we want to make sure that we're bringing justice to any additional victims. I think it's important to understand that, again, this person was utilizing the internet, different platforms, to meet his next targets. And so I think that's important now with the obviously the high use of internet, all the different platforms out there, for parents to be mindful of that. We also want to mention that I mentioned earlier that this person was very aggressive and forceful physically in his actions. So if any parents may have spotted any bruising on the upper torso or face, or something that was just out of place, that maybe at the point maybe their children didn't want to talk about, that could be a clue that we're looking for as well. This occurred, the pickup itself occurred at a high school in northern Harris County. I don't want to divulge the school district just because we're trying to do everything we can to protect the victim herself and not bring any unnecessary attention. Obviously, they're dealing with the trauma surrounding this. It happened after school hours in terms of the pickup, but it did happen at a school. So that could be something where this individual may be targeting schools in the northern part of Harris County, or targeted schools in northern Harris County, but not limited to that. Some of this, I referenced the San Jacinto River. So some of that may be multi-jurisdictional, where we're talking about he's in custody right now in Montgomery County. It obviously involves us. So it could be regionally where this person was moving. We don't know. But he was very proactive and aggressive in trying to identify potential victims. So wanted to just highlight that, because maybe that will raise a red flag for somebody that could hone in on that clue and say, yeah, this happened to me. Again, he would befriend people by basically announcing that he was a minor, that he was 17 years of age, and that he talked about going to different schools, and he was really targeting a lot of juveniles out there. So to those juveniles out there, want to say something very clear that may have been a victim is it wasn't your fault. It's not your fault. We understand that there's a lot of hurt and trauma that comes with this, and so want to make sure that the resources are there to support you. You do not need to travel this path alone, but we want to make sure that we find out your information so we could help you find justice, and then that we could also provide the support services that are available, and then that we could prevent this from ever happening again, because we want to make sure that we prosecute this individual to the fullest extent of the law. And obviously, the more cases we can identify, it would be very helpful, because it's been ongoing behavior. And so with that said, I'll pause now and entertain any questions and refer some to our investigators. Yes, sir.
Sheriff, are your tech teams working to see if any of this video shot by Morales, if there are other videos that he may have made with other victims that got into the internet pornography stream, be it, dark
Yes.
web or what have you?
Yes, so our team is actively working on that. Sometimes, unfortunately, unlike, you know, TV shows and things, you know, some of those steps aren't always like very fast. It's not anything that we're doing to slow it down. It's just the technology itself can be complex, and it's a criminal investigation, so we have to be very methodical in our steps. So we are actively working on those things. What would really help us right now more than anything, if somebody out there listening or viewing this can reach out and said, we know who this person was, we had a similar situation, only we were able to run away and get help, or give us more information that they were a target as well. But we are working on the technology side of it as well, so that we get our hands on more evidence as well.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sheriff, I just had a couple questions. So the alleged assault against this 15-year-old, it happened back in January?
Yes, the 15-year-old victim, yes, it happened in January, correct.
Did she come forward? Did her parents? How were investigators
Yeah,
notified?
a report was filed,
A
correct.
report was filed through Montgomery County, and when they realized it occurred in Harris County, it was transferred over to us.
Gotcha. So what's Montgomery County's tie, I guess? Is it because he lives over there? Or?
Like I said, I think his focus area has been northern Harris County. I think it's, he lives out in
He does
Montgomery
live in
County.
Montgomery
Yeah,
County.
so I think that's his base.
Okay.
But obviously, the internet stretches everywhere, and I think he was very focused on trying to find regional. And it's just one of those things where you just kind of, by volume, just be reaching out to people to see who he could reel in, if you will. You know, he's a predator, a dangerous one, and we believe, again, that there's several out there that just haven't come forward with their stories, and we want them to.
And you believe that he was targeting specifically minors, correct? Across multiple jurisdictions, likely?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you say that Morales confessed that there might be
Yes.
more victims? He himself admitted to that?
Yes.
Um,
There was
Melody,
some
you wanna-
evidence
I
that.
didn't- yes, sorry. If you could state your name, just, and your assignment, and then.
I'm Investigator Waits with Harris County Sheriff's Office Child Abuse Unit. I'm the lead investigator for this case. He did confess to me several other victims. I don't have full names yet, and we don't have the technology side of things yet when it comes to this case. He recorded the videos, so I need to put names to those videos, if you catch me.
So there's more than one video that
Correct.
currently exists and that you guys have been able to
Correct.
take a look at? And they're all involving minors at this point?
I can't determine if they're minors yet, to be honest with you. It just depends. It would help if they came forward and was able to tell us who they are, but at the moment, we can't determine that yet.
So at this time, he's only facing this one particular sexual assault charge against?
For Harris County, but he is facing other charges too, but we can't confirm those charges yet because we're still in the preliminary aspects of this case.
I guess my confusion came because I saw that there was a warrant out here in Harris County for him, aggravated sexual assault against a minor, 14 to 17, and then there was another one out of Montgomery. So I wasn't sure if there was another victim out of Montgomery currently.
There is, it's an adult though.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, he lives in Montgomery County and he would transport these kids to wherever he needed to, and that's why we got the case, because of where he transported this kid to.
Is there any other details you can talk about Morales? Like what does he do for a living? I mean, I understand that.
He's not working.
Okay, so his main target was, he would contact these minors through like social media platforms on the internet, essentially?
Correct.
Thank you so
Can you
much.
speak at all what type of vehicle he had? Is that-
It was his parents' vehicle.
Okay.
Can you determine by the stuff on his phone how many victims approximately?
Not yet, because we haven't been able to get into his phone. I only have the videos currently from the victim's phone.
Was he targeting any specific groups? I know that you mentioned minors, but Hispanic minors from specific regions?
Honestly, I thought originally he was going to be targeting a specific gender and et cetera, but he did not. It was a very wide variety at that point. Whoever would reach back out and allow him to, he would get money from them. He would do a numerous amount of things from him, their victims.
Are you guys aware of the time frame when this behavior from him?
The last few years.
Years.
Mhm.
You said gender, does that mean boys and girls?
No, it was mainly girls, but he would, I can't specify whether or not it was Hispanic or white or black.
Thank you. Yeah, and part of it is what that's why one of the things that we want is we're also asking, we want to fill in the gaps here, you know? We know of this one case that we're investigating. We know we're aware of one video, but based on the information gathered so far, as we believe there are other videos and multiple other victims that we know of. There could still be more, but we just don't know. And that's why we want to make sure that, you know, because he moves around or he's not tied in one area. It could be that, you know, it's in another county, and hopefully with your vast reach, that you could get that information out there and somebody could come forward, or maybe they report it to another agency, we haven't all connected the dots. That's why we're trying to figure it out. And right now, our understanding is that they are female, but who knows if there's been males, we don't know. I believe the one victim in the physical assault charge, I think, that he's got right now in Montgomery County is an adult. So I think to your question earlier, he was arrested on that charge on a warrant, and then we had our warrant that's on the case that the investigator has been working on.
So the adult, that was also a sexual assault charge, that case?
Originally it was, but,
It's still under investigation.
Yeah, they're still working on that end of things.
Yeah.
Do we believe that this guy is sort of a serial rapist? I mean, again.
He seems to be allegedly a serial predator, just based on we know this case, and we have information, believe there's several others. So, you know, the fact that we feel pretty confidently there's going to be other victims out there. He was, I would say, a serial predator that has been out there.
¿Puede mencionar eso en español?
Sí, pues pensamos que esta es una persona que ha cometido varios de esos casos. Pensamos que es una persona peligrosa a nuestros adolescentes y sabemos de este caso. Hay otro caso de abuso físico de un adulto que ocurrió en el condado de Montgomery County. Él está en este momento bajo custodia de su cárcel, bajo ese cargo, y también el de nosotros. Pero sí sabemos y tenemos pensado que esta persona tiene una serie de diferentes víctimas, varias en esta región.
Si pudiera enviarle un consejo a los padres de familia, porque ya ahora mismo los niños bien chiquitos tienen Instagram, Facebook, tienen acceso a
Sí.
tantas redes sociales y con eso se abre la puerta
Sí.
a este tipo de cosas.
Sí, pues como mencionaste, con esos tipos de redes sociales, las personas lo están utilizando para manipular a la gente, para comunicarse con ellos en diferentes chats y pláticas, para tratar de acosarlos, para tratar de atraerlos o formar citas y todo eso. Entonces, muy importante que los padres pongan ojo y que tengan mejor conocimiento de lo que está pasando con estas redes sociales, que a veces no solamente estoy mirando videos chistosos, sino que hay aspectos donde se pueden comunicar por texto también, y los padres entre más puedan poner atención en esas cosas. No es la culpa de los padres, pero obviamente, como mencioné al principio, todos tenemos esa responsabilidad. Just want to emphasize the point that as a community, we all have a shared responsibility on the parents to be aware of these social media sites, to be aware that sometimes some parents are so busy, obviously, with the day-to-day that they may see their kids actively on their phones, watching funny videos, and it's innocent enough. But there's also capability to direct message, to chat, to make encounter people, even through these gaming platforms. Sometimes the kids are playing with videos and they don't know that they could receive messages through some of these gaming systems as well. So these are easy entry points into our children, and so it's important to be nosy, to be an engaged parent. And it's not to blame the parents in any way, you know, but it's a shared responsibility that we could all be doing a little bit better to curb this, because it's out there. Just this one person potentially has touched many potential victims, just one person.
Will he be transferred over here to the Harris County Jail at any point?
I think that's a decision that will come later on, as far as where he's eventually, you know, prosecuted, and the nature of the different cases and how those are more legal strategies that will be developed. But right now he's in Montgomery County. We have a good working relationship with them, and again, we'd like to identify maybe some of these cases came more from the Montgomery County side, or maybe more from us. We don't know that yet.
¿Usted sabe si esta persona es originario de aquí de Texas, de esta región, o que ha vivido en otros lugares también?
The question is, if this person is, do we know if he's like a native Houstonian or Texan, or do we know if he lived in other states or has, we
To
don't
my
know?
knowledge, he's from here.
Okay. No sabemos, parece ser que es originalmente de esta región.
His address popped up as New Caney, and is that where he currently resides?
Well, he's currently residing in jail,
Well,
but I think his family, and I don't mean to be flippant. What I'm saying is I want to emphasize this person's locked up, and we want to try to make sure he's prosecuted to the fullest and that there are consequences to this behavior. So that's more my point in that. But I think his family, he resided with his family, and I believe it's in the New Caney area.
Correct.
So, yeah.
And will he remain in jail for now? Because I could
Yeah.
have sworn I saw no bond out of Montgomery, but I wasn't sure if that was the case.
Do you know what his current
That's
bond?
normally how it is. He's gonna have to come in front of a judge over here for our Harris County warrant that we have currently on him as well.
So it is important, though, the quicker we can identify other victims, because the quicker we could get into the pipeline of working those other additional cases, and it's just gonna bolster the prosecution, and we wanna make sure we're laying out, with prosecutors on all sides, a good strategy to make sure we're holding this person accountable to the fullest extent of the law. So the quicker we could identify other potential victims, and hopefully he doesn't come out anytime soon, but should he come out, then we're just concerned for the safety of the community. Okay?
Has he seen a judge? Is there any bond yet?
No,
Not for the Harris
no
County.
bond yet. He hasn't seen a judge yet on our case. I don't know if he's seen one in Montgomery County, but last we heard it was still a no bond.
Oh, last question, Sheriff. Do we believe that he kind of has a similar pattern where he engages with these minors through social media and then he tries to pick them up at school? Is that something that parents should be aware of? Like, is that kind of how?
I would say what we do know of is he uses the internet or use the platform, social media platforms as his primary, probably, mode of connection. Because really that's the only way to connect with strangers these days would be through social media platforms and seeing who responds back and that type of thing. But again, I think we want to be a little cautious to just say that's his only method, or to say it only happened at high school, because then I don't want to limit our community's thought process that maybe, like, well, he met me at a restaurant somewhere, and that's where we met and not at school, and so they think it's somebody different. We just don't know. That's why we want the public's help to fill in those gaps, because he may have had other locations. This one particular happened to be the parking lot of a high school after hours where they met, and then again took her to a wooded area along the San Jacinto River. Yeah, so we don't know if that's the only place that he went to. Maybe he started going to another place and then eventually moved there. But hopefully through you we've shared enough information to at least, obviously the picture's very, very obvious who he is, and hopefully it'll prompt some more calls. Okay? Thank you all very much. Thank you so much. Gracias.